Next up, we're going to learn some of the barbell squats. Now that you've learned how to do it with the kettlebell and just your body weight, you can move on to some of the slightly more advanced movements. Starting off, we're going to go to the back squat. This is one of the more common squats that you would have seen performed in a traditional gym. So for the back squat, we're going to be resting the bar on our upper back. You're going to start with the bar in a squat rack normally. If you're just at home, you could just be using a stick, which you could be placing on your back like I'm about to do with the barbell. First thing you want to do is place your hands on the bar, just a bit outside of your shoulder width. From there, you're going to step underneath the rack with one foot, and you're just going to push up and then step back. From there, all the mechanics stay very similar to what you just did with the air squat and the goblet squat. So your feet are underneath your shoulders, slight bend in the knees, push your bum back, try to keep your chest up, and then standing tall. I'll repeat that, bum back, knees out, down, and up. Then you can walk back into the rack and lower the bar down. There you have it. So that's the back squat. That's one of the foundations of the squat movements that we do. It's one of the best ways to build leg strength. Progressing on from that, something slightly more challenging, particularly on your mobility, is the front squat. So the front squat, as the name suggests, means that the weight is sitting on the front of your body, very similar to that front rack position that you learnt when we did the power clean. So with this one here, same hand position, so you're going to put those hands just about shoulder width apart, just outside of there, but you're not going to grip the bar too tight. You're just going to have your fingers through the grip, using all the same principles we talked about with the front rack and the power clean. From there, you're bringing that bar into that front rack position, trying to keep your elbows up as high as you can throughout that. Now, depending on your mobility will determine how high you can get your elbows. If you have great mobility, they'll be probably all the way up here. If not so good, you might find that they're sitting down here a bit. Don't worry too much just yet, that will improve over time. So we're gonna go high elbows, and then you're gonna push that bum back, knees out, down to the bottom, and standing up tall. Doing your best to keep your torso as upright as possible. So we're going bum back, knees out, down, and up. Most people can lift more weight with their back squat than they can with their front squat. So that's very common. It's not one for one for majority of people. What you can do is you can have a little bit of a play with this exercise in the gym, or even just with your stick. With the stick, it is a little bit harder to get that front rack position. Complete 3 sets of 8 to 10 of each of those exercises to start to learn that movement pattern.